Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, what a day. Okay, winning with Todd and Rhonda. Y'all might get a retake because we were not live on LinkedIn at the time that we were supposed to. Oh man. Anyways, all right. So listen, y'all. Technology. What happened with the technology? For those of you who are on IG, uh, I, let me just say, for those of you who are on IG, you have been in the right place for at the right time. For those of you who are on YouTube and on LinkedIn, my sincere apologies. I mentioned today that I would start off at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and sure enough, happily went live on Instagram. And people have been hanging out with me and did not press the button to go live on LinkedIn. So we are going to do this over again. What's up? The heck? Hello, hello. So glad to see you all jumping into the room. Listen, your girl is having some technology issues today, but can I just get a thumbs up from anybody who's on like LinkedIn or YouTube that you can hear me okay? Or if you're in the Ideas that Ignite Facebook group, we are streaming in a couple of different places. So if you can just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay, then that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Ooh, technology. Hey, Deshauna. I see you're over on LinkedIn, so I got a wave. So that means that I'm good to go, right? Good to go. Okay. If by chance you cannot hear me, if you cannot hear me, and if you're on any of the platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, just put no audio, no audio, because the other day I straight up had an entire live stream that was like that had no audio. So okay, great. I'm getting some hellos that you all can hear me on LinkedIn as well. Yo, I am so thrilled to have you all today. You know, I wanted to like to share with you all a couple of different stories, both from my own personal experience, as well as some things that are happening in today's world. Today's world is this kind of it's kind of a crazy time. It's kind of a crazy time. Um, every other day there's news about, are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Might we be going into recession? I mean, I definitely know that this chai latte that I'm sipping on cost me about $4 more today than it did yesterday. I mean, slight exaggeration, but it's it's very much it's very much like weird times, right? Uh, and and one of the things I realized though is that when times have been the weirdest, I don't know about you, but when the times were weirdest for me, um, was actually when things started actually paying off the most. So I want to share with you a couple of different stories and a couple of different things that I've been seeing happening in just like kind of like the world as of right now, and how I think that that applies to like where we are like mentally, spiritually, socially, and like how I think that the things that are those little seeds that are fermenting in our thoughts are actually good starting points to like of indicators of like where we should be heading. So thank you so much for popping in, for the waves, for the loves, for the loves. I got my headphones on today. So all right, y'all. So a lot of this kind of started off with this TED talk that I watched the other day. It's by a gentleman by the name of Shankar Vedantram, and it's called "You Don't Actually Know What Your Future Self Wants." You don't actually know what your future self wants. And it was talking about how we're constantly evolving into being a new person, right? The things and the ideas that we have about who we are and the people that we're becoming might be very different than the people that we become. And the people that we become might be either happy or sad with the decisions that our old selves have made. And so because Shankar was talking about how we don't actually always know what's going to be the best intention of our future selves. The things that we can do now, the things that we can do like today, is to treat ourselves and to act in a way that we think is best going to help suit that future self, right? Um, that future self may or may not have the same ideals, the same values, probably very similar. But like, so let me give you a quick example that might help illustrate this point better from the video. He talked about this gentleman and a wife. They were married for many, many, many years. And the wife said to the husband, "If I ever get ill, I don't want to suffer. Just go ahead and just like do not resuscitate. Just take me off. Um, I don't want to have to suffer through it." Right? Lo and behold, in their older years, she had something happen. I can't recall what exactly happened, but something happened where she the husband needed to have made that decision to either like take her off of life support and let her pass, like she's always wanted and always wished for, or to continue to let her live. You know, and fortunately, she was able to talk, and so he asked her. He's like, honey, like, which one of these, which way do you want me to go with this? And she said, "I want to live." And the husband was shocked because this was like, I thought I knew you. I thought I like, like if you weren't able to talk, I would have made the wrong decision for you, right? And whew, I'm getting chills just talking about this story. Uh, but but and so the point of the story, though, that he was sharing as part of this TED talk, was that we are constantly changing what we think, what we feel, what we're really about, right? And so what I've realized from thinking about like what this TED talk means for me and for those in my audience is that treating the best version of yourself really means how can we take the steps today that are going to be most in alignment with who we think our future self is going to be, right? So I had an amazing conversation today, um, with a friend here out in the Bay Area, and she mentioned how she's looking to do this TED Talk by next year, and it was great to actually like look at the timeline for somebody who wants to get on stages or to get paid. If I want to get people paid by next year, my timeline that I'm looking for her and for other people is to start leaning into that today, because it takes so many months to figure out A, how we're going to articulate your message, B, how are we going to get the assets needed to get you in front of those audiences, and C, what are the next steps to make sure that you're doing it like well and that you have the time to implement these processes, right? So so that's why I realized that when I was even going through this, the little nudges that I was getting about like building my business and doing these live streams so I could actually connect with people who are outside of my immediate circle, it all started clicking, right? So for any of you who've been watching the live streams the past couple of days, yesterday I had on a dear friend Poonam, who recently spoke at TEDx. So shout out to her because she was an alum of the program. But one of the things that she told me, and this was probably back like last year in October, after she had landed her TEDx talk, after she was like, starting to really like explode on stages, she was like, "Dawn, like, the principles that you've taught me, like that you need to invest in somebody or invest in something that can help you grow in terms of understanding how to do live streams and how to actually like get your message out there." Um, and and when she said that, that was like the first seed for me to be like, "Oh, of course." I mean, during that time, like we were just coming out of the pandemic, but I had been starting to do these live streams back in like 2020, 2021, just for fun, just for because like at the time, like there was nothing else, there was nothing else going on in the world except for like live audio, live video. And so that was my medium, being on stages, helping people get on stages. And so these live streams were new to me. It was a medium that like I was like interested in. point being is that like I listened to that seed of thought, that Poonam saying like, hey, you need to like lean into this so that people actually know about your programs because it's life changing. And so at that time, that was my now. My present now is actually understanding how I can actually continue to utilize things like this to serve you and to spread my own message. Um, so that was a long roundabout way of saying that, like that. I feel like that when we have an idea, when something comes to us as an idea, that that idea is coming to you now. It's coming to you now for a reason, and it's coming to you now as a little bit of a whisper, right? Before it gets like really loud, like, hey Don, you really should lean into like, hey, 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 like like that whisper, that thing that's like whispering to you, like it starts to get louder and louder and louder until like you can't you can't freaking ignore it anymore. Like that's that's what we're talking about here. I want you to start to take action on those ideas that are whispers before they become so blaring and so jarring of an issue that that it's broken. It's like a car, it's like it's about getting the maintenance. It's about putting in the time to maintain. So, anyways, I know that this is a little bit of a roundabout, robust way of thinking about the power of now and thinking about like what we should be doing. But I think that if you all check out this talk, you don't know what your future self wants, on TED. It'll really give you a good sense of of what you need to do today to uh, to make sure that you're setting your future self up for the best version of yourself, right? I'm trying to do that by learning how to better do these live streams, and by and also I've also realized for my own journey. I realized for my own journey that coaching 100% is a non-negotiable. Like I have to have a coach in my life. It's like it's like therapy, like having somebody like outside of this frame that can give me feedback on, you know, is this working? Is this working for my students? Is this working for my business? Is this working for my personal life? I think that having coaches is by far just like the best way to continue to pour into ourselves, as individuals, right? And therapy, right? But therapy, I can't talk about. I know that there's a lot of therapists who can who really know that world. I really know like a lot about the coaching world, and so for me, it's one of those things that I will always have. I will always have a coach, and I'm hoping that like me having a coach. hmm I know you feel that. I know you feel that, coach. That's right. Uh, and so and that's the thing is like not only do coaches coach, but coaches need coaching, right? So for me, when my friend was like, "Yo, Don, you need to make sure that you also get coaching because the things I know about with storytelling, how to frame somebody's message, how to like really lean into that message so it serves an audience. Those are things that that come naturally to me, and so but understanding how to put together a live stream so that more people know about this and so I can articulate my message to you is something that I've been like learning over the years, right? So anyways, point being, give me some thumbs up or some fire if y'all are feeling me today. It's one of those funny days where, man, one day I do an entire live stream in the wrong place, and today I didn't press the live button. Woo! Anyways, all right, y'all. So I should know. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna take a sip of this real quick. Here we go. Thank you. Appreciate the thumbs up and the love. So, anyways, all this to say that wherever you are in your journey, um, whatever is that little inkling of a thought, whatever is that little a little nugget of something that's coming to you, let that be a guide for what you should do now, for what you should like lean into now. For the people who I work with directly. those are those people who have been like, you know what, I've oh boy. There goes the dog. Okay, come here, come here, come here, come here. It's live, y'all. It's live. Okay, come here, come here, come here. All right, all right. Oh boy, somebody's at the door. This is what happens. Woo! All right, I'm gonna have to deal with this. I'm gonna put you all on hold. Okay, I'm back. Oh wow, wow. It's live. It's live. Hopefully, is the dog barking like messing up the audio? Can you all still hear me? Okay. Um, y'all can still hear me? Okay. Okay. If the dog is going crazy and if it's bothering you, I'll just let me know and I'll go try and take care of her. Anyways, point being that like let that seed that be that let that seed like just kind of like feed where you're going, where your momentum is going. Um, for me, it was like very much about like paying attention to the fact that I was a great storytelling coach. Back in my first recession, I hopefully my last recession in 2008 and 2010, where a sister could not get a job. Like I straight up had a master's degree and could not get a job. I was either underpaid or overpaid. It was just a nightmare. But I was volunteering my time to actually like work with these high school students, and lo and behold, before I knew it, uh, I was fully employed, doing it like full time, and then a year or so later, traveling the world, showing people, how to tell their stories in South Africa, in Tanzania, in Uganda. Just totally just a remarkable journey. So yeah, that's what I want to kind of like lead you all with. It's like lean into those moments, lean into this discomfort a bit because it is kind of chaotic in the world and apparently in my house with this dog. Um, and and if the seed that's been like planted in your own heart is that it's time to do a TED talk, it's time to expand, the crowd that you've been a part of. If it's time to like get your message out to the world, then definitely like hit me up. Ignite.donjfraser.com. Ignite, IGNITE Don J Fraser FRASER.com. And would love to talk to you a little bit more about this program, specifically for people who are looking to land a TED or TEDx talk at the end of by the end of this year or early next year. All right, because the window, y'all, the window, wow, the window starts to close quickly when things are like many months out. Wow, the dog. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end today's broadcast, but I'll catch you all tomorrow. All right, peace.